Welcome to the Los Angeles Tribune Global Women's Journal panel. Today, we are excited to talk to you about an upcoming event that we have going on with the Los Angeles Tribune Leadership Week. And I have two of our newest authors who are joining us in the upcoming edition of the Global Women's Journal. And so I would like to introduce to you. Oh, I'll introduce myself first. I'm Karen Hall. I am an executive producer with the Los Angeles Tribune, and I am also the executive director of the Global Women's Journal. And a lot of people don't realize that we're not just focused on Los Angeles, although that's where our headquarters are, but that we are international, that we broadcast to the whole world. And our events have had over 2 million viewers. And so when you are looking for a stage and you want to speak, a lot of times when we look into the event and we're like, well, what's the reach, or how far is this publication going to go? A lot of times we are looking for the biggest bang for our buck, right? We want to reach as many people as we possibly can so that the message that we're passionate about is shared with all of the people so that we can find our tribe out there. And so one of the benefits of being with the Los Angeles Tribune is that we are global. We are across the world. And to have that many views with an event is pretty amazing. And so I want to introduce Sarah Barthel, who is the CEO of Vibrant Via. She is a functional medicine nutritionist. And our other guest is Gail Larson. And Gail is an educator. She is a best-selling author of several books. She just launched her third book this week, and she is also a publisher. And so I'm excited to have you all hear from them because they are going to be speaking at Leadership Week, which is coming up on May 1st through 7th. And you'll be seeing more posts here. They have posts, I have posts. We'll be continuing to provide information about that. So we're going to start with you, Gail, and tell us, what was it that attracted you to signing up with the Los Angeles Tribune?
Well, it was an easy decision for me in the sense that I was at a turning point of my life and I wanted to continue with the opportunity to be able to speak and to spread a message and to let other people know that there's life after, quote, corporate, and how you maneuver those waters as you go through. And we're always in a state of change. So that's the reason why I wanted to do it. It was part of my transition.
That's awesome. A lot of us are in transition, at different stages in our life. Maybe we have changed careers, maybe we have retired, maybe we have become an empty nester, or, that we all go through different transitions. And at times, these seeds that we have within us start to bloom and they start to sprout and they start to produce fruit. And then we're like, and now what do? I have this great idea that I want to share. And you are a great example of reinventing yourself several times in your life. And so Gail's going to be sharing more about that. So stay tuned. How about you, Sarah? What brought you to the Los Angeles Tribune?
Well, I am so honored to be here with you this morning and so excited about Leadership Week. I decided to be part of the Los Angeles Tribune because, similar to Gail, part of my mission and my passion is to educate, empower, inspire women to step into that calling, that seed that they have. I love that Gail has recreated herself several times. And in my practice, I have a virtual practice and I work with women one-on-one and in programs, but I hear the same themes over and over again. And as an expert in perimenopause in women in their 30s, 40s, and 50s, I feel like that is the time where we are hitting our stride as leaders, as our kind of the coalition of or the coalescence of our education, our experience, our confidence, and we're able to share that with the world. It also coincides with a period of life where our bodies and our hormones and our brains are totally rewiring and shifting. And so part of the reason I wanted to get involved is really to get my message out globally that women can take back control of their health and they can feel amazing and vibrant and energetic and confident stepping into this second half of their lives.
Oh, That is so awesome. Yes, both of you have so much wisdom that you have gained in your life, and like you said, coalescing at this point in time, and many women. I was reading this article about how in the next stage, after women are in perimenopause and menopause and different things, that a lot of times they feel like they have so much wisdom that they want to share, and it's called the crone stage. I don't really like the word
That, I
crone.
have not heard that.
Yeah, crone's not my favorite. I would rather had, eagle or something. But I thought it's so true. At this stage in our life, when we have gone through so many things, there's this desire to share this with other people. And Gail, I know with you now on your third book, tell me more about this wisdom that you have gained about being a leader.
Well, what really inspired me about creating these books was because as I progressed through my career, it felt like people began to look at me as if I had a best by date. You know how when you go to the grocery store and you're taking the milk carton out and then they put it back because it's about to expire. Well, who's the one who's to determine that? And so I just felt like when people approach this particular period of life, and just like Sarah had said, that we are vibrant women, vibrant individuals, and I want to lead by example to show what we can do no matter what stage of life that we are in. And that's what these books focus on.
Right. Oh my goodness, that's a mic drop right there. Gail, a best by date. How many of us feel like other people look at us like that we're nearing expiration and maybe we don't have so much to offer. And the irony is that we have even more to offer because of all the wisdom that we have gained, all the experiences. I've been around younger people that are very young and just college age that are coaches who are very wise for their age, but they don't have the same experience because it takes experience to learn a lot of lessons, and sometimes it takes many of the same kind of experiences where we learn the lesson again on a deeper level. And so even though we may understand a truth, as we age, we experience things with different people in different environments. It just, the angles shift a little, maybe our role shifts a little. And so our understanding of the same truth is deeper. And so, Gail, I really appreciate that. I'm going to think about that with the milk.
Every time.
That's right. And we are better and we are best. That's awesome. How about you, Sarah?
Absolutely. No, I love that. And I think for me, looking back in my 20s and 30s, I looked healthy from the outside. I was a green smoothie drinking Ironman athlete, but on the inside, my health was a mess and I was able to push through. And I think that works for a while until suddenly it doesn't. And this is the time in our lives where we have to reassess how we're spending our time, who we're surrounding ourselves with. We have to really prioritize our mental and physical health. And it really, I'm so passionate about these, like the 30s through 50s, because it's kind of like you said, a lot of women are transitioning. Maybe they're becoming empty nesters or stepping into their own or finally pursuing that calling on their hearts. And if they don't feel well, this is around the time where they start getting like, oh gosh, I'm fatigue and brain fog and I'm starting to gain weight and feeling kind of anxious and irritable. And that's not the description of a powerful, healthy, vibrant female leader. And I want to show women that they can have that health and they can have that to be able to propel them into this next chapter. And that's what I like to work with them on. They don't have to just put up with, you know, nearing expiration.
Yes,
It's just slow decline.
exactly. And that's so common to have those feelings. And when we start to feel those feelings that accompany perimenopause and menopause, many times we don't realize that there is a way to overcome that. And so thank you, Sarah, for leading the way and helping us to understand that. I mean, with half of the world dealing with this at some point or another, and the other half of the world experiencing what the women in their life are dealing with, you impact every single person in the world by this knowledge. And it's very valuable. And as leaders, we want to be vibrant. And so thank you for that. Okay, Gail, I want to give our listeners just a little sneak peek about what you are going to be talking about at Leadership Week and in your article in the upcoming Global Women's Journal.
Well, one of the things, and we kind of touched on it earlier, talking about being in transition and managing change. And I know we've been talking about women when we get to a certain age and so forth, but the message that I am bringing forth has really to do with women at all ages and not just women. It's when that feeling is, I'm out of my element. Well, what does it mean to be out of your element? I mean, first of all, you have to define what your element is. Is your
Right.
element your purpose, right? So finding your purpose and just moving through those transitional stages to recognize what that purpose is and then be able to reach that goal. So that's just part of what I'll be talking about during the Women's Leadership Week with the Global Tribune.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes. And I again, I want to reiterate that so many women are reinventing ourselves and we are going through transition. And so to hear it from someone like you who has reinvented yourself a couple times and gone through several different transitions, as most of us do in life, to hear your insights. And one of the things that is so wonderful about the women that are part of the Global Women's Journal is we are heart-centered. We are connected. We support each other, and we are a community that are connected in a way to be engaged. And that's something that's really rare. I don't know how many of you have joined masterminds. We have a mastermind every month with Mary Glarfield, who was the former executive vice president for Tony Robbins for 18 years. And when we have these masterminds, many times we are connecting with each other and, oh, you could help me with that. Oh, that'd be awesome. Oh, you want to collaborate on this other thing? Super. Oh, I didn't know we had that thing in common. That's awesome. In contrast to other masterminds that I've been a part of, I don't even know the people. And we certainly have not connected at this level. And many times there's a scarcity mentality. Ooh, I don't want them to know, or maybe they'll steal that thing. But with our women, we are so supportive and there's such an abundant mentality. And so I'm so happy to have both Gail and Sarah be a part of that, because as you can see, they are the kind of women who are heart-centered. And that's the kind of women that you will be joining with the Los Angeles Tribune Global Women's Journal. All right, Sarah, tell me about your thoughts about transition and the reinventing yourself.
Absolutely. For me, this was a second career as well. It was something that, as I struggled with my own health issues and as I went through doctors and specialists and ended up just feeling frustrated and helpless and going down the path, discovering functional medicine, going back to grad school, and really rebalancing my own body, figuring out root cause medicine. It became something that I wanted to share with the world because I don't want women to feel like maybe this is normal. Maybe this is just getting older. And when really I've seen the ability of our bodies to heal and restore balance when given half a chance. And I think being given that tool to see, whether it's through lab testing or finding out what works for your body or what doesn't, and maybe what worked in the past no longer does in this season of life, it can be really reassuring to know that it's not in your head. And I think a lot of women start to almost subconsciously be told when they're just given things to cover up their symptoms, anti-anxiety meds or laxatives or fill in the blank, they're kind of being told it's in your head when really, in my experience, there's always a reason. So I want to encourage women to trust their guts. And whether that be with their health or with what they're supposed to be doing in the world, and speaking their message into the world and making an impact. At the end of the day, we have to make sure that we're putting on our oxygen mask first. We have to make sure that we're healthy and vital in order to fully show up for not only the people we love, but the calling, the higher calling and purpose that we have on our lives as leaders.
Oh, that was so good. Did everybody hear that? She will help us to be able to show up not only for the people that we love, but for our calling as the best version of ourselves. We don't have to settle for this mediocre feeling with our mediocre health. We can have more. And thank you, Sarah, for letting us know about that. So those are just some sneak peeks about the content that they're going to be talking about. And we are going to be joined by headliners such as Becky Robbins, the co-founder of Robbins Research International, Joseph McClendon, Robert Cialdini, Jim Quick, who is Limitless, and I don't know if we would call him the father of neuroscience, but certainly a neuroscience expert, Dan Kennedy. We have so many experts that will be joining us at Leadership Week, and many more women who are part of the Global Women's Journal will also be speaking, and we will be doing another live event with them beforehand. So before we go, if you could just tell us, what is one thing that you want to share with the audience about your experience, because you both spoke at our last Global Women's Leadership Symposium in March. What is something that you would like to share with the women out there who are looking to speak about your experience speaking at our last event? So I'll start with you, Sarah.
For women who are looking to get involved.
Yeah, who want to speak, who are saying, yes, you spoke. Tell me, I want to know more because I want to speak too.
What incredible energy, what an incredible platform to be able to, like you said, connect with so many powerful, talented, gifted, heart-centered leaders who truly care about making an impact, and really link arms and learn from one another, cheer one another on. It's just such a powerful platform. It's a powerful way to connect with other people, and also to get your message out to a global audience. As you mentioned, it's not just Los Angeles area or California. It is a global platform. And so we have people from all over the world sharing their gifts, their wisdom, their experience. And I think we just can continue to grow and learn and transform through the years and through the decades. So I'm just such an honor to be part of it.
Thank you so much. I loved hearing about your experience and how you have felt about your speaking. How about you, Gail?
And it's the same for me, as Sarah brought up, the whole idea of being able to connect with women internationally on all sorts of topics. I don't know how many of you know, this is really my first entree into the speaking circuit, but everyone has welcomed me, and I've gained so many perspectives along the way that if you're considering doing something like this would really broaden your insights on how you will approach your next stage in terms of leadership as well. So it's just a fantastic opportunity for you to expand.
Gail, that is so insightful, because so many people are thinking, oh, but they've spoken for years. So I'm not quite ready for the Los Angeles Tribune. Oh my goodness, I better start at the public library and then work up. That's great to speak at the public library too. But you don't have to have loads of years of experience speaking to be able to speak at the Los Angeles Tribune. And you've probably been speaking in a lot of places that you haven't even thought of. You already are a speaker, for those of you who are listening out there, because you've probably spoken at work. You've probably spoken up when people said, where do you want to go to dinner? And you convinced them of your ideas or why you thought it was a good idea. You've probably spoken up at numerous different gatherings And you already are a speaker. And so, yes, if you want to speak, if you want to share your message, now is the time. And we are growing, just like Gail is growing, just like Sarah is growing. The Los Angeles Tribune is growing. And we want you to be a part of what we are doing. We want you to join our like-minded women who are just the most beautiful souls. And so thank you so much for talking about this being your beginning entree, because there's more to come. I mean, you start with the delicious appetizers and there's even more. So I can't wait for all of you to hear more from Sarah Barthel and Gail A. Larson, who will be talking to us at Leadership Week. I will also be talking about Leadership Week. I talk about emotional intelligence. I'm an emotional intelligence leadership coach, and about empathy. And I'm also a humorous keynote speaker. I have a comedy podcast, and I have a couple of different podcasts. So we look forward to having you all join us back in May 1st through 7th, for Leadership Week, for many more speakers. And we will talk to you again soon. Looking forward to connecting with you. And if you are interested in joining with the Los Angeles Tribune for speaking and for publishing, just send me a DM on LinkedIn. I am Karen Hall, the Queen of Empathy. You can find me there. You can comment on any one of these feeds, and hopefully I'll find it in the sea of comments that we get. But anyway, I look forward to connecting with all of you who are interested, and look forward for all of you to hear even more from Sarah and Gail. Thank you for being with us today.
Thank you.